my blood. That's my blood. It's a lot of my blood.
Howdy guys, it's the Dallerfin'd crustacean back at it with more Uncharted. We're finally here with Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, and we're starting off with this amazing set piece where we don't know what's happened. It's like one of those story moments when you watch a TV series and they start off with something. They start off with the climax of the story, and you're left to wonder, how did we get to this moment? And that's what's happening here with Drake. We see that he's really badly injured, and he's somehow hanging off a cliff and able to climb up with his injury because he's a badass and nothing can hurt him. Today I'm doing something different where I'm going to be reacting to my gameplay footage. I promise you this is my gameplay footage. I thought that this was going to be maybe an easier way for my voice lines to, or not my voice lines, I don't write a script for these videos, but I thought this would be a good way for, I can just talk in a normal tone and I don't have to freak out about y'all hearing me. I can just sit here next to my phone, talk normally. I don't have to play the game and think about what I'm going to say. I can just say what I'm going to say and not get distracted on what's going on screen. I thought that it would be a better way for me to talk, but it turns out that I say no matter what. And there I go again. I'm sorry if that bothers any of you, but I'm going to have to be quiet here because there's another cutscene coming up.
Buy me a drink, sailor.
Harry Flynn? Hey! What the hell are you doing here?
I'm looking for you, mate.
Uh-oh. Should I be flattered or worried?
Maybe a bit of both. Come here. I've got a job for us.
Really?
The client is willing to part with a huge sum of cash if we acquire a certain object for him.
All right, I'm listening.
Now, you're not gonna like this.
Oh, no. No, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, you just hear me out for a
No,
second.
Flynn, we both know two people who were killed trying to lift something out of this place.
And one who made it out.
Yeah, barely.
I can't do this without you, Drake. You're the only one who's cracked it, and you know better than anyone it's a two-person job.
No. 3, actually.
Right. And speak of the devil, here she comes now.
What?
Chloe Fraser.
Nate. Drake. Nathan. Drake.
Hello, Harry.
Chloe is one of the best drivers in the business. She'll take good care of us.
I bet.
Right, look. I've got it all figured out. We go in through the sewer.
Loving it so far?
That puts us in the courtyard. From there, we scale up the wall, run across the rooftops, and just drop down into the exhibit hall. Bob's your uncle. And what is worth all this trouble, I hear you ask?
I didn't, but go ahead. But that's it. An oil lamp.
Yeah.
It's worthless. I don't get it.
Neither do we. That's why we tracked you down.
Well, it sounds like you're working for a nutcase. Some collector who's got too much time and money on his hands. And by the way, this is not worth any of it.
But there's more. How's your 13th century Latin, mate?
Where'd you get this?
Borrowed it from the files of the nutcase.
In Trebizond, we were set upon by thieves. Father, Maffeo, and I were robbed of our greatest treasures. This was written by Marco Polo.
Yes, that much we were able to work out.
Unfortunately, the rest of it's nonsense.
Hey, hold on. So that it should not fall into the wrong hands, I concealed my great sorrow in the unlikeliest place. The light of the great Khan shelters the fate of the 13.
See what I mean? It's just gibberish.
He's talking about the lost fleet.
Yeah.
I know, someone want to fill me in?
Marco Polo leaves China with 600 passengers and 14 ships loaded down with treasure from Kublai Khan. And he lands in Persia a year and a half later with only one ship left and only 18 passengers. Now, he recorded every detail of his journey, but he never told what happened to all those ships and the passengers.
So somewhere out there are 13 ships loaded with the Emperor's treasure waiting to be found.
Yeah, and that is what your client is after. Hey, look at this lamp. It's covered in Mongolian script. It must have been a gift from Kublai Khan.
The light of the great Khan shelters the fate of the 13.
Marco Polo hid something inside this lamp. Something that pinpoints the site of the lost fleet.
So, we're dicking this guy over, right?
Damn straight.
Absolutely. You in then?
What the hell? I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? Famous last words, right? So, because I'm reacting to my own gameplay, I completely forgot what I was going to say. But as you saw from the beginning, I'm playing on crushing difficulty. I had far too easy of a time playing normal for the first game for my playthrough, so I decided to do this on crushing. And as you see, I completely passed a treasure. I was going to just try and not pick up any of the treasures, that way whenever I did come back to pick them all up, I could just go ahead and watch a tutorial that showed me where everything was, and I wouldn't have to nitpick which ones I'd picked up and which ones I didn't. But as you'll see later, I end up accidentally picking up some treasures along the way, just because some of them aren't hidden at all and are on the main story path. And you can see me. I'm not sure how difficult crushing is. I don't remember. You remember how bad brutal is because you die in 2 hits. But on crushing, as you can see, I was a little bit ready because I remembered somebody coming, so I just waited around the corner. And, well, my memory suited me well for the most part. He was there just a little bit later, but we didn't get hit. Of course, I'm sure that's not like a big thing. This is just the beginning sections. This is the tutorial section. not getting hit is not really an achievement all on its own. And by the recording of my reaction here, I have done brutal difficulty on 1 and 2. Back then I was surprised that I even did it then, and now I'm surprised that I was even able to do it twice. So if any of y'all don't want to do brutal because you think you won't be able to, just know I have done it twice and it is completely possible.
Hello. Well, so much for foreplay.
You mind telling me what the hell is going on?
You mean with Flynn?
Yeah, you might have warned me.
And missed the look on your face? Anyway, you haven't exactly made yourself easy to find.
Talk about making yourself easy.
Oh, you're not jealous. Let's not forget who walked out on whom. After all, you don't get to be jealous.
Wait a minute, Chloe.
If it makes you feel any better, my relationship with Flynn is strictly professional.
Really?
Mostly professional.
Oh.
When I figured out he was actually on to something, I thought you'd want to be in on the action.
So what's the plan?
Just like we said, we pull the heist, we find the ships, and we make off with the treasure.
With Flynn?
Mm-hmm.
And then?
And then we split the take 3 ways, and you and I just disappear. Together, this time.
I see.
Until then, he can't know about us.
He's gonna be pissed.
He's gonna be fine. Trust me.
So I remembered what I was going to say before. Because I'm recording this as a reaction to my gameplay, I was able to edit out all of my deaths. So in any moment you see a black fade or a cut in the middle of a gunfight, just know I died. And yeah, that's it. I don't know if you remember me talking in the first game about how we're on side Elena and not side Chloe. Now you know who Chloe is, and she will be in the second and third game, and even, like I talked about before, has her own spin-off game, and you can decide for yourself if you're a Team Elena or Team Chloe.
You sure you're up for this?
Feel a lot better if I had a gun. We won't need them. A little insurance, that's all.
Flynn, they're just museum guards. And we have their patrols all mapped out. Relax.
Relax. Relax. Have you ever been in a Turkish prison, mate? If we get caught, they will lock us up and throw away the sodding key. You do realise that, don't you?
Better than you do.
Well, you may fancy that kind of thing, but I don't. Can't afford to make any mistakes.
Yeah, and we won't.
We're here.
This way. So what do we do if they switch the patrols?
Figure it out as we go.
We cannot fumble our way through this.
I don't fumble, I improvise.
Oh, is that what you call it?
Yeah, I'm, adaptable.
Adaptable.
You cocky bastard. There. What did I tell you? That passage there is going to take us right under the museum.
You called it all right.
You need to have a little more faith in me, chum.
Okay, this one here is me.
All right, remember, that tower's our only way into the exhibit. But we can't even get close with those floodlights on.
We've gone over this.
Just make sure you cut the power by the time we reach the second courtyard.
The lights will be out. I'll have the van waiting at the rendezvous point. Just make sure you get your asses out of there in time.
Fair enough.
All right, enough chat. Let's do this.
Chloe. See you on the other side.
Looking forward to it.
You sure you know where you're going?
Don't I always?
I apologize if y'all prefer somebody who is actively reacting to the gameplay that they have, because I have already recorded the entire game. As I've said, I have already played this game on Brutal, and I'm just now reacting to my crushing. Because if y'all don't know, to unlock Brutal you first have to play on Crushing, the initial hardest difficulty in the game. So, but not only have I played on Brutal difficulty for both games, I have gotten the Platinums already. And if y'all don't believe that I beat it on Brutal, I will have pictures up, and it has the date and time that I ever achieved the trophy.
Here it comes. Thanks.
But as I was saying, you will get to determine for yourselves who you like more, Elena or Chloe, in the second and third game. So this and the next. She does have her own spin-off, and I talked about it when playing the first game. I said that I wasn't going to do a gameplay for that game, or a walkthrough, and I said that mostly because I don't have the game anymore. I played it, it was alright. It didn't seem like something I wanted to play over and over again. And I'm the type of person that doesn't keep every game he buys. Sometimes I regret that motion, but then I think, why would I keep a game that I know I'm not going to play again? I try to buy games that I think only I will like, but sometimes my thoughts on what I think is going to happen is false. And here you could see that I thought that I was going the correct way, but it turns out I went the way to a separate treasure that I don't want to pick up. So I left it there, and in hindsight, because I had to play the game a third time, I decided that I was going to play on Brutal difficulty and pick up my treasures there. But I ended up having quite a difficult time, so I ended up focusing solely on the Brutal difficulty instead of collecting treasures. So I had to play it a third time, and then, if you don't know, there's another trophy for doing a speed run. And can I just say, I hate speed runs. Speed runs are the bane of my existence. I know that there are people that love playing speed runs, love to perfect a game, find all its ins and outs, figure out how it operates. And I'm just not one of those people. I just want to take my time and enjoy what I'm doing. I'm not sure if this is the case for those that love to do speed runs over and over again, but speed runs are stressful as heck. They are very stressful for me, And as soon as I make even the slightest mistake that makes me take even a second longer, I feel like I've screwed up the whole entire run. And even though that's not the case, it is very nerve-wracking for me. And as you can see here in a second, this game actually incorporates a little bit of stealth into its mechanics. And you'll see a couple of sections later on where I can stealth a section without being noticed. In the first game, stealth is a thing. You can take out an enemy from behind, but you can't take out whole sections. At least I don't think that it's possible. You might be able to take out one, maybe two people if you're lucky from behind. But it was definitely not focused on in the first game, and that game was definitely developed for more of a gunfire type of experience. And this game is the start to Uncharted's stealth mechanics, and I really enjoy stealth mechanics, as I have said in my gameplay 1 playthrough. I already got spotted. Apparently, I did not edit out all of my fails, so I apologize for not editing that out. Cover in this game feels somehow worse than it did in the first game. It's very sticky. If you want to roll out of cover, you're just gonna roll into another spot of cover and most likely get shot and killed if you're playing on crushing and brutal difficulty. It's really best to just walk around without going into cover because it's so sticky, and I find that really annoying because if you've played Uncharted 2, now I haven't played Uncharted 3 yet, so I don't know if this carries over, but I don't remember having this problem playing Uncharted 1. And I just recently played Uncharted 1, so my memory should suit me well. When in cover and blind firing, Nathan will put his two arms out of cover and shoot. And you think that's just like an animation thing to make it look realistic, because no one wants to see the character shooting through the wall to hit the enemies. That would unimmerse you. Is that even a word? It will break your immersion. And he sticks his arms out, but because he does that, you get hit. And sometimes that ended up being the thing that killed me. I'd be almost dead, and then I'd go to blind fire, because blind fire should be the thing that gets you out of sticky situations. Like if somebody's coming up around you, you're almost dead. You can't peek out of cover because you're gonna get shot. So blind fire is the solution. But this game makes it to where blind fire is no different than poking your head out. So what are you supposed to do? So if you're playing this game and you're having trouble because you're playing what should be correctly by taking cover, don't take cover. Stand behind pillars, or try your best not to take cover in any situations that you can. And you should do okay. You can do the cover trick, which if you didn't watch my first gameplay, that is where you stand behind a pillar instead of taking cover behind it, and you aim out your reticle just barely past the cover, and your bullets will hit the enemies. but your enemy's bullets can't hit you. And I hate that I have to do that, if I'm being honest. It makes me feel a lot safer. I feel a little bit stronger not having to take cover, but they incorporate the cover so that you use it. So I really hate that it feels unusable in this game. Now, when we get to Uncharted 3, I'll be able to share my same complaint there with the cover system, but in terms of this one, yeah.
Crap. Now what?
It's time to tip the odds back in our favor.
Oh, that's brilliant. Guns? What are you thinking?
Relax, Gandhi. They're tranquilizer guns, totally non-lethal. Your conscience will remain unscathed.
Oh, well, good idea.
Great. Okay, a little bit of advice. These things have lousy range, so we still have to get in close. You okay with that?
Know how to shoot a gun, genius.
All right, let's take these guys out.
I thought recording myself reacting instead of actively reacting while playing would make it easier for me to finish my thoughts before cutscenes came. But apparently, I am still struggling. And I accidentally left another failure. So right here, I can actually use this to make a point. It's very weird. As you can see, Flynn takes out the guy on the right like he's supposed to for those first set of guys. But when you shoot this guy, sometimes Flynn will not shoot the second. And I've played this game 3 other times after my initial recording for my YouTube channel. Another for Brutal, another for the treasures, and another for the speedrun. And every other time, Flynn did not shoot the guy on the right like he did just there. It's very weird, but you have to do it yourself. I don't know why, but that's just what happens. And that's kind of what happened that first time. It was mostly my fault, but he had time to shoot him, but didn't. I also had time to shoot him, but I knew once they saw me I was done, and I didn't even bother. And I forgot to cut it out. And as they're using the silencers here, it reminds me of one thing that I did like in Chloe's separate game, and it was the fact that they had a silencer weapon in that game, and none of the other games have a gun like that, if I remember correctly, or at least not one that you can use a tweak if you don't know. On these remastered editions and the Uncharted 4, I can't remember if it was in the original 1 through 3, but it was always in 4, and it was always in Chloe's game. But after you beat the game on a certain difficulty, you can then play that difficulty again, and you activate tweaks. You can't go into a new difficulty that you haven't played. You can't go into Brutal and activate tweaks because you beat Crushing and unlocked Brutal. You would have to beat Brutal first and then play Brutal again to be able to activate tweaks on said difficulty and so on. But you can activate tweaks, and these tweaks can give you different skins so you can play as different characters, or you can give Nate a gun that's not usually in the area, and so on. And if I remember correctly, there's no other game other than Chloe's where you have a silencer weapon that helps you continue your stealth. So in Chloe's game, I really liked that if you wanted to take out an enemy from far away and you were trying to stay in stealth, you could use your silencer and you would remain in health. I mean, in stealth. And I really like that. And I haven't played this game through while activating tweaks. I did activate tweaks once because there's a trophy for it. And there's also a trophy for killing somebody while using a different skin. But I didn't do a full playthrough, or I didn't look through all of the tweaks, so I didn't notice if they allow you to use this tranquilizer gun as a weapon in other sections. I don't believe they do. But I really like that they have that for Chloe's game, and I really wish that they had it for the other ones. Even if it wasn't part of the story, like, just give me a silencer that I can use to help me in stealth. You've given me a way to take out enemies in stealth, but sometimes you can't get close to an opponent without them seeing you, so being able to take care of them from a distance and still remain in stealth is really useful. So I'm gonna stop talking because we have a cutscene coming up. I'm sorry if you don't like me talking over these in-game cutscenes, but I'm going to. That's why I have subtitles on, so I'm sorry.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, and there's the acoustic alarm. Until we get this case unlocked, that thing's gonna go off if we so much as touch this glass.
No worries, mate. Voila.
All right.
Now, we're sure it's the right one.
Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. Sorry, Marco. Crap.
Well, that's the understatement of the year. This is it. It's bloody useless.
The light of the Great Khan. Wait a minute.
What are you doing?
It's resin. It'll burn.
And?
Just give me your lighter.
What? Is that really a good idea in here?
Come on. Whoa. Let me see that. Our ships were driven by a great flood tide into the wilds of Java.
Sounds like they were hit by a tsunami.
Yeah, somewhere off the west coast of Borneo.
Oh, great. That narrows it down a bit.
Look, this mountain must have been the closest landmark where they went aground. We find that mountain, we find the ships.
Yeah, good work, mate.
Wait, there's more. Okay, Joe. As if the ocean itself sought to throw off the terrible cargo we carried from Shambhala. The curse of the Chintamani.
Will that mean something to you?
Shambhala. Oh my God, Flynn.
What?
Marco Polo found Shambhala. Shangri-La.
You're joking.
If they were carrying the Chintamani stone, it might still be there.
It's all very fascinating, but we really gotta go.
Yeah, I'm right behind you. What the hell are you doing?
Sorry, mate. This is where we part ways.
Wait, Flynn, we had a plan.
No, you had a plan. Turns out I've got one of my own.
Come on, throw me the rope. Don't be stupid.
Oh, yeah, right. You're the mastermind. Only you overlooked one little detail. Didn't you, partner?
So what are you gonna do, shoot me now?
No, I just need you out of the way for a little while.
Shit.
You think I didn't know about the ships from the beginning? Any schoolboy could have figured that out.
Flynn, listen.
Face it, genius. You've been played. Not yet. I want to give the guards a decent head start. Right, that's my cue. No hard feelings, yeah?
What a jerk. Betraying us. Now, I don't know the history that they have had previously, but I know that there is comics or something that talk about the history that Flynn have and the history that Chloe and Nate have. But all you need to know, or all I care about knowing, is that they do have a past. They have been on jobs previously, and I'm not sure if Nate could sense that Flynn was capable of betraying him, but the way he talked to Chloe about warning him, I know he was necessarily just talking about warning as in they are in a relation, but maybe he knew that he had the capability of betraying and kind of overlooked it because Chloe was involved.
You overlooked one little detail, didn't you, partner? What? Face it, genius, you've been played.
Oh, really? Hey! Jackass, you're ruining the show here.
Ah, what a shame.
Sully!
I really can't leave you alone for a minute.
Oh, man, am I glad to see you.
How you doing, kid?
I'm doing just great.
So, had to grease a few palms. Did go through the rest of your money, and a good chunk of my own, but hey. Jesus, you stink.
Yeah, not half as bad as that cigar. Hey, how'd you find me?
Well, a friend of yours asked for my help.
Hello, Nate.
Oh, no. No.
Now, wait a second.
Sully, kick her out and shut the door. We're safer in here.
Just wait a goddamn minute. Hear her out.
Thank you, Victor.
Hey, no offense, Sully, but you're not exactly the best judge of character, especially when it comes to women.
Fair enough. All the same.
Dear God.
Oh, no, it's not that bad. Look, I have my own bucket. Last cell I was in, 8 of us had to share.
Listen, Nate.
You know something? I really appreciate you dropping by, but if you and Flynn hadn't screwed me over in the first
Now,
place,
wait
I
a
wouldn't have
minute.
been rotting in this shithole for the last
Listen,
3
Nate.
months. So excuse me if I'm not just, leaping into your arms.
I had nothing to do with it.
Right.
I told you. He's not going to listen to me.
Screw this. Nate, they found the ships.
In Borneo.
Yes.
And the Chintamani stone?
How do you know about that?
Do you really think Flynn could have figured that out on his own?
All right, good point. No, they haven't found it yet.
What do you mean, they?
Flynn and his client, Lazarovich.
You know, the nutcase. They've been working together all along.
All right, then. If they haven't found the stone, that means there's still time. You're gonna get us into that dig site. We are gonna snatch that treasure right out from under them.
They'll never see it coming.
Yeah, well, payback's a bitch. Look, they called it the wish-fulfilling jewel. It's a sacred object.
What, like a Buddhist holy grail?
Exactly.
Thanks.
Sully, listen to this. In the kingdom of Shambhala lies the most precious thing to be found in all the world. A perfect raw sapphire of the deepest blue, larger around than the reach of a man's arms.
Ooh, that's gotta be worth millions.
Hundreds of millions. And you say there's more of this?
Loads more. Lazarovich paid top dollar for Marco Polo's journals. He's been after the Chintamani stone for years.
Well, if he's been counting on Flynn to find it for him, it's no wonder he hasn't had any luck.
If I can get a look at Lazarovich's files, I can find that stone.
Hang on a minute, cowboy. That's easier said than done. The files are in his tent, and his tent is in the middle of the camp. It's like an armed compound. There are soldiers everywhere.
Well, that's why it has to be an inside job. From someone they know and trust.
Oh. Okay, I see where this is going.
Just need a diversion. You give me 5 minutes in that tent, that's all it'll take.
Really? 5 minutes? Well, that's great. I won't even have to get my top off.
Chloe, I was thinking more like an explosion.
Or that. Can be arranged.
Are you in?
Oh, hell yes. I was in before you were.
Chloe, you reading us?
Loud and clear.
We're getting close.
Okay, I've planted charges all around the perimeter of the camp. You two just need to arm them. First one should be right
3 months. Can you imagine being locked up for 3 months?
There it is.
I also left the detonator for you.
All right. First one set. Don't touch the button.
This one?
Once you've set all the
I guess you could say it's an irrational fear, but I am... As you can see, I remembered there being guys in this area, but there is nobody in this area, so I am aiming for no reason. But I guess you could say it's an irrational fear, but prison and jail scare the crap out of me. And you could say it's an irrational fear because why would you be scared of prison and jail when the only way to get in there is you committing a crime? But it still doesn't deter me from being like, damn, I cannot imagine being locked up in such a horrible place, sharing it with the scariest of people. But Nate's used to it. He doesn't care. He can handle his own. I mean, obviously he cares, but he's not scared of it. It's more of an annoyance for someone like him. As you can see, I'm taking it very slow because years ago when I played this in Brutal, literally every section to this game gave me a hard time. So, you will see in most sections, I take it nice and slow, even though you don't die nearly as fast and crushing as you do in Brutal difficulty. And if you can see, when I picked up more bullets, you get about 18 to 20 bullets. You see, I almost just died there in one little burst of an enemy's gunfire. But as you saw, he picked up 18 to 20 bullets. And the hardest thing about Brutal difficulty, which I didn't even remember before playing the first one, and now the second one through just recently on Brutal, but when you try to get more ammo for the gun that you have, you will literally pick up maybe 4 bullets max. Most of the time you will pick up only 2, and that is ridiculous. These games, I guess I should say, throw so many enemies at you. And the nerve to not only kill you in 2 bullets, where some sections are pure luck because you have to run and you have no bullets you have no gun because it's a cinematic section. But the nerve to make it as if this is some kind of survival horror game? Come on. Don't give me 2 bullets. There is a way to combat this. If you end up, if there is another gun to pick up, even though it's not the gun that you want, if you see that there's more ammo for the gun that you have, pick up a different weapon, and then go pick up not the gun that you had, but the gun that would be able to give you more bullets, which is the gun that you had, but not the one that you were directly holding. It will give you a full clip, or if not close to a full clip. So go ahead and do that. That is the way to get around it. Though, even though there is that way to get around it, not every section here in the beginning has multiple guns for you to pick up. As you can see, right now, we only have the AK and the regular pistol. And here in a second, you will get introduced to a shotgun enemy, but
Here's the camp. You ready for this?
you can't come out of cover in these harder difficulties to grab it, and you're going to want to shoot him before he comes up behind you, because he can kill you in one bullet. And as you saw, there was my first fade. I have zero idea how that guy didn't die from a headshot, but he didn't. And I'm just going to pick off every single guy slowly here, because I don't want to die.
Here we go.
And you see how he said, "Here you go"? There's a lot of moments where he'll say, "Here you go," or "Okay," and you think that's your indication that the fight is over, but it's not. And I don't like that, because sometimes enemies hide. Most of the time they don't stay hidden too long in this game, but as you see, I had to run back because you have to approach a little bit before the other enemies come out. That's another thing that I don't like. I don't like that you have to advance further to get more enemies to come out. It feels real cheap to put you in unsafe situations where the game knows that you're not in a very good position. And not necessarily in these sections, but in a section far later in the game, it is like a main component to that area, and I absolutely despise it, because it makes that area far more challenging than it really should be. It feels like an area that shouldn't be too difficult, but because of how enemy spawns work in this game, it is challenging. Don't worry about any grenades that come to you. As long as they land on the other side of any barrier that you're in, they will not hurt you. I am so sorry if you can hear my stomach growling, but I guess I am hungry. So I apologize for that.
Still got arm 3 of the charges.
And this next section, in chapter 4, we're in chapter 3 right now, is probably the hardest section, well, second hardest section in the entire game. The hardest section is the section that I was just talking about, but I don't want to spoil it right now. Will be, so this early on, this early chapter, chapter 4, which won't be in this video, but it will be in the next, will be the section that will determine for you if you can play Uncharted 2 on brutal difficulty.
Come on, gorgeous, jump up.
In my opinion.
Thanks. There you go, kid.
All right.
That must have been some tsunami to wash these ships so far inland.
Get down.
The pump is down again. The damn thing is always breaking down. Come on, let's just fix it so we can get out of here.
Look, they're not armed.
Not that many. What are we waiting for? We can take these guys.
I don't know, Sully. Maybe.
That's right.
I like the combat in this game. I like the little triangle prompt. They don't show the triangle prompt every time. That's just because this is the tutorial section for combat. But I like the combat in this game, and they improve upon it even more in the third game. And I really enjoy it. Like I said in when I was playing the first game, I wish that they had brought back the get more ammo when you hit the enemies a certain way, but they have a dodge mechanic now. So I guess that's something.
Okay, you ready?
Wait, just hold on a sec.
Three months, and you have found nothing.
Well, now, wait a minute. We've been...
Commander!
That must be Lazarevich.
This man was caught stealing artifacts from site number 5.
You would betray me for this?
No, Zoran, I can't explain.
No need. I am surrounded by traitors and fools!
What do you say we really ruin this guy's day?
Do it.
Spread out! Search the perimeter! Go!
All right, it's all yours, kid. I'll cover you from here. Some fool left a sniper rifle up here.
What a narc, that guy. What a loser. What was he expecting? A promotion for turning in his buddy there? You got a guy... I know Lazarevich says, you would betray me for this. And it was just something so little, but it's kind of funny that the other guy would get somebody killed for something so small. Like, why turn in your buddy? Did he eat your sandwich in the lunchroom? Like, come on, dude. Why are you being a narc? Is it really? I guess the name of the game is Honor Among Thieves. So he had honor for his boss, despite his boss being a real a-hole. So this is where I end up ending this this gameplay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love y'all. Bye.